Wow. Okay, you're cool then. Just so
Yeah.
you know, I realize that everyone's probably in the middle of finals. Like it's finals week for everyone right now, right? You're all in the
Oh
thick,
yeah.
except for Chris
Oh no,
because.
mine's next week as well.
Mine's
Ooh.
next week.
Okay, cool. So we're just coming up on it. I do understand that you've got other life priorities going on, and I just want to start off by thanking you for so much time with the spring summit and with all of our other priorities, and for honestly just being on this call because I know that it is time out of your life where you do have other important priorities too. So thank you for being on the call, everyone. We obviously have some new members, which I'm super excited about. So cliche, if you want to go through, say your name, what school you're from, and any other things that you might want the group to know. And I don't care what order we go in, so someone can just go first.
Okay,
Oh.
I'm Allie.
Hey, Allie.
Hi. And I'm from Texas A&M.
Sweet.
And I don't know what else to say.
You're good. Cool. Super excited to have Allie on the team. Texas A&M is one of our really great chapters in Texas. So super excited. Welcome to the team, Allie. Want to go next?
I'll go next. My name is Marcus. I go to Tulane. Don't know what else to say.
What do you do at Tulane? What's your role in Louisiana's network?
Well, obviously chapter president at Tulane. I was a recruitment director before this, and I'm kind of like pseudo watching over New Orleans just because we're very compact with a lot of schools in the city.
Cool. I love it. Welcome to the team, Marcus. Caleb, you want to go next? Keep this Louisiana trend going?
Yeah, for sure. So I'm Caleb Moore. I'm from the University of Louisiana at Lafayette, which is like a little bit north of Marcus, so it doesn't consider it Louisiana anymore, and I live in Arkansas. But whatever. That's like a Louisiana thing. I'm studying political science, and I'm happy to be on as the state chair for what people are now calling all four Dakotas. Whatever that means.
Wait.
Even though they call it all four Dakotas. They
Wow.
don't even Montana and Wyoming. They don't know. All four Dakotas, as if there's four.
Got you.
Really confusing.
Cool. So for those of you who don't know, I guess just so we're clear on it, Allie is the second state chair for Texas, so she'll be helping out Mike a lot there. And then Marcus will be overseeing Kansas and Nebraska, and Caleb will be overseeing North Dakota, South Dakota, Montana, and Wyoming. So way up north. But super excited to have you guys on board, and as we go along, if you have any questions about anything, I know I'm gonna like screen share a little bit with our docs and everything. Feel free to ask any clarifying questions that you need, but so everyone else knows, I haven't been trained yet, so that will all happen in the very near future. But cool. Just since we do have some new folks, just kind of like what Hangouts are, why we have Hangouts, and how they're run. So we have Hangouts, not just because I want to hear myself talk for an hour, but because we genuinely want to information share and make sure that we're all getting the most out of the state chair program that we possibly can. Any of the chairs that have been on the team for a while can attest that we are a super tight-knit group and we support each other, and it's really a fun community to be a part of. And so a lot of regions only have monthly Hangouts or bi-weekly Hangouts. We have Hangouts every week. Because we genuinely like coming together and we get a lot from it. So also, so you know, Hangouts, I really want to be more of something where we all contribute. So I don't want to talk the entire time. Like I genuinely don't want to. And also you're not doing yourself a service by not contributing because everyone has valuable ideas and feedback. And so something that I really want to implement going forward is something that we do in the office. It's called victories and priorities. So every morning, Ty calls us all into the conference room and we go around and we say, all right, in the past 24 hours, what are 3 things that are solid victories that you've gotten out of your day? And what are 3 of your top priorities for the day ahead? And the reason why we do that is it keeps us very present to exactly why we're here. And you'll find as a state chair, or if you're in the state chair program, you already know that your head will get clouded with a lot of different things that you have to do. Some of them are more important, and some of them are just things that need to get done that aren't high priority. And so making things a priority is saying, all right, this is something that I actually want to get done first. Obviously, we don't talk every day on Hangout, so this will be done weekly, and we do want to limit it to 3. So 3 things that you've done in this past week, and 3 things that you want to get accomplished in this next week. And we can start with 1 or 2 if that's all you can come up with on the spot, but I want everyone to contribute. And if you're new, a victory in your YAL chapter, a victory in becoming a state chair, whatever you have to offer is valuable too. So I would like to ask someone who's been on the team to start us off. Harrelson?
Okay, just a second. Do they have to all be YAL related? I guess they do, right?
Kind of. I mean, feel free to share something from your personal life, but it'd probably be valuable if it's related to your state chair role.
Yeah, no. It should obviously be YAL related because this is YAL. So, so focusing on Utah, we got leadership teams and semester calendars, and then leaders trained all completed this past week for 4 major campuses in Utah. So I'm gonna consider those my 4 victories because they're 4 separate things. Can those be my 4 victories?
Yeah, of course.
Good. And then priorities. Moving forward, start executing on all of those events that we have planned. So getting rooms reserved and things of that nature for next semester. We also need to draft recruitment plans. So having them table once a week, and then, reaching out to professors in classrooms. So those are my priorities going forward.
Nice. I like it. Cool. Who wants to go next?
I'll go ahead and jump in.
Cool.
Hey, so I guess 2 victories for me would be definitely landing the whole Austin Peterson Skype call tonight. We had roughly 30 people tonight, and there was a lot going on campus, and there's a basketball game and like another sports game and all kinds of other stuff. And we ended up pulling a little over 30 people, and a couple more people committed to going to Summit. So that's definitely 1 victory. And another one would just be in the Shreveport area with LSUS and BIPSI and reaching out towards Centenary, how the network is building, and it's not necessarily like quantity yet, but like the chapters that are there are quality, and those 2 guys like in Matt Howerton and Jacob McConnell are definitely going to be the next, and I definitely see a lot of potential in those guys, especially after this semester. But as far as something to work on, a goal would be I need to get a flipping invasion in, but I was going to do it this week. I was talking with Caleb about going to do one in Alexandria, but me being on the quarter system, just getting out of solo this week, nothing to do. Everyone else is on finals week, so trying to work around that. So that's essentially what I've got going on there.
Awesome. I love it. Is it easier for y'all if I pick names, or do you want to kind of let it happen organically? I'm usually a fan of spontaneous order, but if it works better for me to follow people out, that's cool.
I can go next. Okay, so going the easy route here, becoming a state chair obviously is a huge one. A second one would be me and Joe have made a lot of progress on locking down a really big speaker at Tulane for next semester. So that's huge. And then the third one would be, getting people in general to commit to Summit. But one guy told me there's a 20% chance that I'll actually go. And I was like, and I still convinced him to at least register and kind of commit. So that was a small one, but a good one.
Awesome.
And then priorities, this is for the next week, right?
Yep.
Okay, so for the next week, I want to get better connected, and by better connected, I mean connected at all with the networks in Kansas and Nebraska, and then start locking down some of them to come to Summit. And then second one is just to make more progress on the speaker for next semester. getting more confirmed stuff with Tulane, which means going through all of their bureaucracy, which is awful, but it'll be great.
Cool. I like it. Thank you, Marcus. Who is next?
I can go.
Oh,
Okay, so one victory, obviously becoming a state chair, but that's just a gimme. The second was probably getting 13 phone numbers today at Sam Houston State.
heck yes.
And the third is a smaller one, but like I got our YAL chapter all set up with our room for next year and our table for tabling. And so that's all covered and I don't have to do that anymore.
Awesome.
And then my priorities would be calling the people that I got, but mainly learning how to call the people that I got and what to say and like what to do. And thirdly, it would be getting more people to register for Summit from my chapter.
Awesome. I love that, Allie. Good job. Cool. Mike, you want to go next? Or Jess?
What up?
I can go.
Go for it.
Okay. So I guess 3 wins. Today I got told that our YAL at my school is actually the friendliest people to like add on to the group. So that kind of made me feel really good. Yeah, I was like, okay, we're not exclusive. That's good. Another thing that I got told is that I, as like a chapter president, am really reliable when it comes to like other people inviting me to events and me actually going. So that kind of made me feel good because I know we all have events and sometimes we're like, come on, come, and people don't actually show up. So it's nice that people think that they can invite me and I will go and represent YAL. So that was nice. A third win, just I guess this is like overall this semester, the bond that I have with all of the chapter presidents, because I don't know, I feel like I have a really good connection with all of my chapter presidents. Like we can talk like normal and you know, we're like friends. So 3 things that I need to make a priority is definitely calling more people for Summit, because I have people who are like, yeah, I'm ready to apply, but I just haven't done like the follow-up call, you know? And then maybe one thing I want to do, and I don't know if I can get it all done within the next week, but like build a connection with not just the chapter presidents, but like vice presidents and people who are in other chapters that are an important part of their YAL chapter, I guess. And then, you know, trying to get like that chapter in for the month is a priority too, since we're about to end school. So yeah.
Awesome. Cool, Jess. Mike, you want to go?
Yeah, can you hear me this time?
Yep. Loud and clear.
Okay, cool. I'm actually in between my laptop and my cell phone right now because I was trying to get my video, but so some things that I've accomplished this week is like working with Brittany to get our on. We have been going through the Texas network and getting signups, and I've been reaching out to people for end of the year or end of the semester phone calls and getting people to post up their blogs. I'm trying to get going forward, I'm going to try to get at least like 50% for Texas or more. I'm workers. Tomorrow, I'm going to get Sam Houston with that activated real quick. I'm going to be working with her to do that, and maybe that'll be even her chapter to oversee or something like that. So doing a lot of great things in Texas, and I think so. Sam Houston. I've talked to some people at like Lone Star Kingwood to get that started up, and someone at Houston Community College. So like I said, I'm looking at a few colleges in Houston to get started up here soon.
Awesome. Cool. I like it. yeah, I think this is going to work as far as a format for future Hangouts. And if it means extending the Hangout 15 minutes, I'm totally cool with that because I see a lot of value in, one, celebrating your victories of the past week because we definitely don't do that enough just in general. And two, just holding ourselves accountable to actually getting those things done, right? You said it out loud. Hopefully next week you have those things able to, actually be in action. So cool. Alrighty. Shout outs as usual, which is usually how we start our Hangouts because I love giving public recognition. Devin won State Chair of the Month this year again. So someone please dethrone this man because he is on a roll. I think this is his second or third month in a row as State Chair of the Month. So go Devin. Whenever you watch this, good job, bud. And then Allie for going on an invasion her first freaking week as a state chair. And she wasn't a recruitment director before either. So she was kind of going in blind and she had, the courage to go out on campus and actually make things happen. So congrats, Allie. That's awesome. So, okay, where do I want to start as far as things that we need to talk about this semester? I think I want to start with semester's almost over, right? So like finals and then we're done. So I kind of touched on this last week, but I think it's really important to take a moment and just observe where your network is at. We're in action so much that we don't really take a lot of time to just like sit and actually look at where things are compared to where they were at the beginning of the semester. And so for a lot of networks, I think that they've just grown in ways that I didn't even see coming. Louisiana is an obvious example. We've got 4 state chairs from Louisiana. There's like 10 chapters in Louisiana. So whatever they're doing to cultivate leaders is working, and we need to use as a model. Like there are some states that are just like that. And then there are some states, to be honest with you, and I will be honest, like that have either stagnated a little bit or that have dropped off a little bit. So as a regional director, I'm looking at states that are clearly adopting a model that's winning. And by winning, I mean chapters with 30 people, activists that are ready to step up into new leadership positions, et cetera, et cetera. And then there are some states that, we've still got not active chapters or chapters that once they're mobilized don't seem to have a lot of movement. So looking back on that, like there's nothing wrong with wherever your state is at now. It's where your state is at now. And we just need to recognize that for what it is. But looking forward to next semester, there are some actions that either need to be taken, if it's a winning strategy, it needs to be adopted by everyone. And if it's not, then we need to figure out what we need to tweak to get chapters like Chris has that have, 20, 30 people at them with leaders that are trained as soon as they're brought on. And so that's really something that I just want us to personally reflect, and you don't have to necessarily share unless you want to, of things that are working, things that aren't working, and making sure that we're information sharing so that everyone's networks are built to the extent of some of our, better states. So I'll leave it at that unless anyone has any feedback. But okay, cool. But I would just take some time after this hangout and just literally reflect, okay, how many chapters do we have at the beginning of the semester? How many chapters do we have now? How much have they grown? Are there people that if I left the state, would the state fall apart, or is it self-sufficient now where I can, actually leave and know that it's in good hands? These are all questions that we need to be asking ourselves regularly, but especially at the end of the semester, I think. So that would just be my first general point. And also, I just want to, I guess we can pivot a little bit to chapter creation and just in general returning to the basics. And for new members on the team, which half of this hangout is new now, you want to know how to become a state chair. It's mastering the basics. So getting in the habit, and it's all habits, right? So getting in the habit of updating chapter notes, getting in the habit of updating Liberty points. You don't know what any of this is, but you'll be trained. Getting in the habit of maintaining regular communication with chapters, right? Because state chairs that are on now can tell you, as soon as those little things start falling off, that's when things start taking a turn downward, right? So taking a look and making sure that we realize what our monthly minimums are and what our expectations are as a state chair. So one of those is chapter creation or 50% mobilization of your network per month. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but during finals times, people aren't going to be doing events, or at least most chapters aren't going to be doing events, much less taking the time out of their finals and blogging about events. And so it is going to be just one of those things where, yes, quality and quantity are important, but we currently have a network that's half the size of Midwest network. And so we do need to grow. And this is a perfect month to fulfill on your chapter creation expectation. It's the beginning of the month. And I think, you know, if we knock this out in the first 2 weeks, we'll be in a really good place for our region. So chapter creation is basically a must this month. And is anyone planning on somehow pulling out a 50% blogged and reported for your monthly expectation, or is everyone planning on creating a chapter? Mike, Chris, Andrew?
I'm doing it. Whatever that means, it's going to be a success.
Wait, what?
Yeah, I mean, like, actually,
I'm probably going to start a chapter.
Okay, cool.
Sam Houston is coming in tomorrow, apparently. And then, like I said, I'm working on 2 other chapters as well.
Awesome. Cool. So we're all pretty much on the same page about that. If you need targets, as usual, I feel silly even going through this. If you need targets, ask me. We've got 1 million targets. And that kind of brings me to our next point, which is about summits and shifting our mentality about summits. But every decision that you make, and this is something that we're adopting at a national level for RDs, for national staff, and I want it to bleed down into our state chair teams so that it can bleed down into our chapter presidents, so that it can bleed down into like our entire network of every action you are taking needs to be taken with the summit in mind. So like, are we creating chapters at smart locations that could go to the summit, right? Or are we doing membership drives in a way where we're building our network and potentially mobilizing these people to come out to the summit? And the conversations we're having, are we talking about summit and hyping people up? And you may say, why are you harping so much on the summit? It's still 5 months away, but it's because it is the single most important thing that we will do in the spring. And not all of you have been to a spring summit, I don't think, but most of you, if not all of you, have been to a YAL event, or at least at the very least you can say, YAL has impacted your life in a way where now you're willing to spend half of your time to be working for it, right? And so as soon as you get that, you want to give that to other people. And the best way that we can do that, the best way that people can really be turned on to the ideas of liberty is to be at a summit, to be sitting in a seat, listening to, you know, hopefully Ron or whatever speaker we get, jazzed out of their minds, meeting friends that they're going to have for the rest of their lives. We want that opportunity. Correct me if I'm wrong. We want that opportunity for as many people as we possibly can. So sometimes summit expectations are going to occur as a lot, and they're going to be stressful. And of course, we all sometimes lose mind of, you know, what those numbers mean and what the end goal is. But every time we get a registrant, that's a potential next Chris Harrelson, right? Or it's a potential next Ty Hicks, right? Like, we don't know how these people's lives are going to be changed, but we are cultivating the next generation of leaders. And so, yes, everything should be done with the summit in mind. And yes, we will talk about the summit a lot. And yes, we should all be getting excited about it, because it's not my summit and it's not your summit. It belongs to everyone that's going to be there, but I want everyone to leave their mark on this amazing event that we all own. And so I want us all to play a hand in it. It's definitely a team effort. And by the way, guys, I'll share my screen now so you can see kind of what I'm looking at as like a data points and everything. We're doing a freaking amazing job right now. So let me share this with you real quick. Woo. Okay. All right, so this is the Spring Summit stock that I always screenshot this upper right-hand corner to y'all. These are all the data points that we're looking at when we're looking at how we're doing for Spring Summit. And my laptop's gonna die. This is us right here. Houston, Texas, we're in the green. That means that we're ahead by 20 registrants, which is amazing. And currently we need 9.17, so essentially 10, because we can't cut people in half. registrants per day to meet our goal of having 500 people at the summit. How many we got today, right? The last 2 days, and then a breakdown of where everyone's currently at with referrals. And then we got this registrant tab over here, which is kind of irrelevant to you, but this is where we live and breathe as a region, and I just need us to kind of understand that going forward and everything like that. But also, with that being said, and I'll stop screen sharing now. Also, I think it's pretty important to adopt a mentality where we're not competing against other regions. We're competing against whatever we think our best potential is, and just, you know, furthering that every single day. And I will say this, for people that were there last year in Denver, it was a fantastic summit, and it was the best experience in my life, and probably like it was life-changing for everyone, and anyone that went had a fantastic experience, and it was great. We also had the smallest summit out of the entire United States. It was fantastic, but I can't even imagine with 250 people at our last summit would have been like if that was doubled. And that's the expectation this year, is to double that and have 500 people in the room. And if we're competing against ourselves, then it's just icing on the cake when everyone who just assumes that Central is going to somehow have some small summit, when we're, you know, showing up to play and really putting our money where our mouth is, right? We've got the best team that we've ever had, and we have limitless potential to get people to this summit. And so I know I'm rambling a lot about summit, but it's just so darn important, guys. And I hope you get that. And I hope that when we ask a lot of you, it's one, because we respect the heck out of you. And if we weren't asking for a lot, it would be a disservice to you. And also two, because this is for you and for your network and for your people. And so it's so important that we're showing up to play every day for summits and everything like that. Any comments about summits, questions about summits? I know we haven't talked about like logistical details in a while. There hasn't been a lot of revelations about that, but what's on your mind when I say summit? Does it occur as a stressful thing? Is it something that is exciting? Are there questions that your people are asking? Feedback.
Hey, can I jump ahead real quick? Because my phone's on 1% and I don't want to die out on you guys. Do you know at what point we might know what speaker we might be bringing in? Because that would be a huge part of my selling point, because every time I talk to somebody about it, they're like, oh, who's going to speak? And then I just throw out prospective names. And, of course, you know, the eyes widen. They're like, oh, yeah, cool. But when it's not concrete, you know, when it's not concrete, they don't they're also not as inclined to commit, you know.
Of course.
So if you could let me know about that and other things that might be happening, that'd be awesome.
Cool. Yeah, so I'll give you as much information I know, which is not much, and I'll also offer you something really quickly before your phone dies. I think that the perspective that we should take, and a successful perspective that we've taken in the past, is that the ultimate draw to summit isn't even the speakers, it's the general experience, right? And I know that you get that, but like, oop, and he's gone. Darn it. We'll just have to watch a recording. So Andrew, I'm going to continue talking as if you're here. Sell it as if there's no speakers that will be there at all, because the experience in and of itself is amazing. And then when we announce speakers, then it's literally just going to be like, are you kidding me? This is amazing. Like, you know, next level for them. But to answer your question, and this is all internal, and I don't even have that much information. No, we don't have any confirmed speakers yet. Yes, we are open to suggestions for speakers, but we are literally in the phase where we're reaching out and we haven't even heard back from anyone yet. So if you ask me, I would love Ron Paul to be there, because it's his backyard and he's getting old, and I would just like him to be there. And I think that that's a definite possibility. We're also looking at some other people. I think we're reaching out to every suggestion that we've got and just saying, is there any of these that you can potentially attend? And that's kind of how we're making our decision. But it would be smart to invite someone like Ron, who's from Texas. And again, Mike's been really good about this, and there's been a few other people that I've like specifically reached out with speaker ideas or connections that you have to speakers or whatever. That's more than welcome, because that's what's happening right now, is we're just reaching out to people. So not very satisfying, but that's what I've got for you as far as speaker goes. For logistics, Mike, you'll be really happy to hear this. Houston's a really big city, which I didn't understand until I really looked at it on a map. Potentially, our hotel is going to be in your backyard, like right near the University of Houston. So yeah, potentially like on your campus, which would be really great for recruitment. That's all I know. Literally, I'm not withholding anything from you guys. And you know, as soon as I get that information, you will be the first people to know it. But we just don't know a lot yet, except for it's April 21st. It's in Houston, and you're going to be there, and your networks are going to be there. So it'll be great. Cool.
I got a little tidbit too, if you want. I've talked to Brittany and a couple people about possibly getting Adam Kokech there. So he said to talk to him like once the new year comes around. So obviously I can talk to him once 2018 comes around and we can solidify whether he's going to be there or not.
Yeah, and definitely work through Ty, I would say. Like, I'm glad that you're in communication with him, but just like keep it. So last year we informally, because everyone was excited that we were connected with Weldon Angelos on Facebook, which he's fantastic. And it somehow ended up that one of our chairs directly asked him if he would speak, and he said yes. And like National wasn't looped into it, and it was a big no-no. Even though it was like a cool victory, it was like, that can't happen. So I'm glad if you guys have connections, definitely pass them along to Ty, and you'll be in on the communication. But Ty needs to be in on that communication too. But cool. What other questions you guys have about Summit, or feedback about Summit, or pushback you're getting about Summit, anything like that?
I've two things real quick. As far as like speakers go, I'm like directly in contact with Steve Scalise's office right now, the guy who got shot on the congressional baseball field. Ooh. And according to his wife, actually, I've been talking with her and his scheduler. She doesn't want him to do anything else ever. She just kind of wants him to sit in a room by himself all the time. But his scheduler wants him to start doing speaking engagements pro Second Amendment. So like it's all like contingent on like the next couple of weeks, and like if they get back to me and you know just what they're doing, because it's like Christmas and the guy just got shot, so I don't want to jump on him too hard. But I think he'd be really cool to have, like if we even did like two people, like the one in Atlanta did, you know, Kane and Rand, which is where we ended up going because of Joe, but that's fine.
I went to both. Yeah. I'm loyal to Central.
I didn't know what was going on, but Joe was just like, go here, Rand Paul, and I was like, you got it, I'm going. But as far as like, okay, so like the states I have are really far up, and I really like my main goal here is to get them to actually be able to come to Summit. And you know, is there anything I can offer them assistance wise for travel? Because you know, however they do it, it's going to be a big journey for them getting down to Houston.
Yeah, definitely. And it's going to be something that we're going to work on, and it's far from impossible. We will get them there. If they want to be there, we'll find a way to get them there. As far as incentives go, the only public incentives that we have are 4 people to a car equals $100. And if you get 10 people to come from your campus, it's $250 activism stipend for every 10. And that's it. Although we're definitely open to proposals. So for example, if you find a cheap flight that potentially we could divide up that 4 in a certain way to give each person some flight stipend or something. I don't know how that works, but I think there are 2 flights from North Dakota, if I'm not mistaken. We can make that work. We just need to look in what's feasible. If it's feasible for them to drive, we obviously want a bus or a van to come down. And Devin was looking at some super, super cheap vans, like 15 passenger vans that we could get for like $20 a head or something like that. So if it's drivable, if they want to do a multi-day road trip, we can potentially start fundraising for hotel costs for that. Or if not, if they're looking into flights, we can try to find cheapest flights. There's apps that'll show you when flights are the cheapest, and then just like literally start working. All right, how are we going to make this happen? It's $400. Okay. You know, like let's break it down. What can we do here? And just literally working person by person like that. But now's the time to be creative with that stuff. And so just keep brainstorming. There's nothing that's coming off the top of my head except for like a Liberty bus or somehow doing a proposal with some flight money. Also, guys, I am so sorry. I need to grab my charger real quick. So I'm going to do that. Hold tight. Talk amongst yourselves if you want to.
I didn't get to do my 3 victory things. Sad.
No victories for you.
It's okay. It's fine. Really, I'm over it. So what is that big potato-looking thing on your wall, Marcus?
Where is there a big potato thing?
I can't point at it.
I love how you guys.
Which
I love
here?
how you guys just talk to each other.
I love
Oh my gosh,
here.
there are other people on this call. I thought it was just me and Marcus. I don't know what's going on.
Where I'm
Jeez.
pointing this thing right
Yeah,
here.
that thing. Yeah, that. What is that? Is
Oh,
that me?
that's yeah. So it's a piece of sin. So what it is it's a cutout of
What? Sin?
Sin. Yeah, I'll explain. It's a cutout of New England, and it has the Patriots logo on it. So
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Oh, it is sin. It's actual sin. That needs to be burned. We can have that chapter event. Louisiana Yal gets together, hosts a speaker, burns whatever that thing is. I'm in. Count me in.
If we're gonna burn stuff, we can host like an Antifa speaker.
Milo? I heard Yal loves that. Host Milo.
LOL. Okay, cool. Hi, guys. Back from getting my computer charger. It's cool. Cool. So does that answer your question though, Caleb? Just get back
Yeah.
to
The other thing I remembered like a little bit after asking that is advice Joe gave me was that if you get their universities to ask like their SGAs, they might like give you a stipend. They might just be like, oh, you're a campus organization.
Oh yeah.
I think you have to be like officially chartered with the university for them to do that. But apparently they've done it before, so it's I guess not that big of a deal.
Yeah, I didn't catch all of that, but you're talking about university funding, right?
Yeah, like student government association stipends and stuff like that.
Yes. Okay, I don't even know why I didn't think about that because my school, UNC Charlotte, back in the day, literally paid for my plane flight to Texas once for a conference. Like, just straight out was like, yeah, here's $1,000. Have fun. Like, wow. Sometimes they have a lot of extra money, and it's just a matter of coming up with it or like submitting a, what is it called? Like a travel request or whatever. But that has to happen like now for those people. So it's definitely something to look into though, for sure.
Yeah, I know like Tulane, and we're private, so we're like different than most universities. But they let you student organizations that are recognized by SGA take fans from the university that they just like give them to you, or I don't know if they charter them or what. And I know like last year they paid for a group of like 50 girls to go to the Women's March in DC. So it's pretty common that schools will do that. You just got to be careful because they might not want to send money and kids to a Yale summit. They might want to send them to other things instead.
Cool. Let's potentially start working out some of those details. We can do research on those schools probably independently of those students too. Just seeing like what their policies are, if they have anything publicly posted on that, and then it's really just going to take a lot of conversations with students and just strategy and troubleshooting and brainstorming and all of that. And I know that sounds like not a firm answer, but that's probably what it's just going to take. So we can make it happen though. Cool.
Brittany, did you say we go to, oh, sorry.
No, I was just going to ask what else. So keep.
Oh, okay, cool. You said we should talk to Ty if we have speaker ideas, because there's a philosophy professor at Tulane, and he lives in Baton Rouge, so very close to Houston. That's one of the like most renowned like libertarian philosophy people, I guess, in the United States, and he works with Cato and all them. So
yeah, dude, that's actually really cool. As far as like how to go about connecting with everyone on that idea, would be send me an email, and then I will forward that email and then add it in you so that it's a conversation with you and Ty, because that's what Mike's done a bunch with his connections too. So yeah, we would love information with that about that, as well as, by the way, what is your debate? Our debate is about the drug war. So this is something that I can offer you guys. Every summit is going to have a debate. Ours is on the drug war. So woo. If you have a status professor that has a pro-drug war stance, we need someone for the other side. We've got the pro-liberty guy. We literally just need the other guy. So if you got someone that is close by that wouldn't mind making the drive to be on a stage with a pro liberty guy duking it out, that'd be cool. Connect me, because I don't know how to do that research myself. So,
I'll see if I can find some statists.
Yeah, someone from U of H would be perfect. That'd be great. Cool. What other questions do we have? Okay, cool. As far as strategy goes, I'll just let you know a little bit of what we're looking at as like a regional strategy, and then we're going to have to dive in with state expectations and state strategies that will be completely different than other states and all this stuff. But as a national strategy, what we're focusing on right now is getting as many campuses with at least one registrant per campus. And the reason why we do that, call it breadth, then depth. So one person can easily turn into a carpool of people. And it's just really important to at least get that anchor person on campus as a person that's committed. Yes, I want to go to Summit. I have a car. I want to drive down, whatever, give them a title, carpool leader, whatever you want to do. Get that person committed. Now, obviously, we want to get as many registrants as possible. So if you've got schools like, Louisiana Tech, for example, I think is leading with like 15 people registered from their campus or something. If you got schools like that, cool, register all of your people. That's also encouraged. But just so you know, our strategy is more important right now to have as many people from as many different campuses rather than, one campus with 40 registrants, for example. So that's kind of what we're looking at. As far as what that means for you in your state, it's making sure that at least one person from each chapter that you're assigned is registered. And yeah, so that's kind of what we're looking at as a overall regional strategy. As far as strategy with reaching out to people about Summit, I guess I've put this in the chat a few times, but I think that it's really important that people's first exposure to the Summit is a phone call with you where they can hear your excited voice on the other side of the line, where they can get any questions that they have about the Summit answered, and it psychologically holds them more accountable if they say it in words out loud that they are going to go to the Summit than if they're just filling out a form that you send them. And so at least for one person on every campus, there needs to be a solid phone call, although I would encourage anytime that there's an applicant that comes in, like we want to make sure that they do have, an actual conversation around it rather than just sending them a link. Because we could be at probably double the registrants we're at right now if I just mass send that link to our entire network of every single dues paying member. But I think that there's a way to do things. And so first step is getting your high tier leaders, one from every campus, solid phone call, get them excited, because that's just going to ripple down. And then at some point, I'm sure that we will be texting out links. Now is not the time to do that. Any questions about that? Or anything that I just said, or comments? Okay. As far as rebuttals that you're probably going to get, just based on my experience so far and my prior experience with summits, people are going to say, I don't know what I'm doing on April the 21st, right? Because it's like 5 months away. To which the most successful response is always playfully saying, well, now you do know what you're doing April 21st. You're going to the summit, right? Like we've got 5 months to plan for logistics. A lot of people don't want to put their name on something if they don't think that it's definite. So make it as definite as you can. And if they're not sure about logistics, say we've got a lot of time to figure it out, and you've got me as your, right-hand man to help you do it. But you're going to be at the summit on April 21st. Last year there was some of, if you call them, they're not near a laptop. You are welcome to fill out the application for them. Although I will say, again, if they fill out the application themselves, they have more of a stake in the game. If they say it and then you send them the application while you're on the phone with them, and then you say, hey, I'm here if you have any questions, and then they fill it out themselves and submit it, you're going to have the greatest likelihood of them actually turning out for the summit. So yeah, that's my wisdom for getting applications in. Just there's going to be a lot of questions that you might not know how to answer as far as like logistics stuff. And there's going to be a lot of people that are like, well, I'll do it, once I know what the speakers are. and you just always got to be the positive force coming back with, no matter what the speakers are, no matter what the logistics are, we're going to make it work. You're going to have a great time. And everything. So cool. Is there anything else that I wanted to talk about? The only other thing I will say, Jason's not on the call right now, and he's usually who oversees the recruitment director program. I want each of you to have a really solid recruitment director as soon as possible, but especially going into next semester, especially Caleb and Marcus and Joe and who else is working with remote states or like in really big states. It's important for everyone to have recruitment directors, but for example, if you're working with someone in North Dakota and they want someone to come out to their campus, it's really helpful to have your top prospects being able to travel out and like meet them and everything like that. And again, cultivating the next generation of leaders, right? Your ultimate end goal is to be able to walk away and have the state be self-sufficient, which means having a next in line. So keep considering that. I know, so Mike has Mike has a recruitment director currently. Jessamine, I don't believe you do. Correct me if I'm wrong. Chris has Markel. So he has a recruitment director, but if everyone could at least come to next hangout with a prospect or a couple prospects for recruitment director.
I think Marcella is going to come back onto the team. I've been talking to her about her semester, and I think she has a lighter semester next semester, so she's going to come back on.
Sweet. Cool. I love it. Yeah, whoever your top person is, definitely good to let them climb the ladder, let them, you know, if they're hungry, give them more, right? So just let them have more responsibility and everything like that. And for some of our newer folks, it may take a while to identify a leader like that, but at least have some prospects as you're talking to people of like, oh yeah, this guy gets it. He would be a great recruitment director or something like that. Cool. So Alex actually did want to address the team as well, and he's in the living room. So let me real quick just get him out here, and you can talk amongst yourselves again real quick.
Caleb and Marcus, you guys can talk to each other again.
I was about to say something to Marcus.
I was about to say something to Caleb.
I refrained from doing it. Hey Marcus, who's your speaker?
I don't know if I'd like Joe was like be quiet, but it's Jordan Peterson, so hopefully.
Yeah, no,
and
I know.
We're also getting Austin Peterson next semester too.
What a jerk. We did all that work. We got you Jordan Peterson. Joe said he did it, but we did it. It was hard. Have fun. Judge now.
Oh, it got real quiet all of a sudden. Okay. How are we all doing tonight?
Pretty good. Pretty good. No
Good.
Good. I'm glad one person's doing good. How are the rest of y'all doing? Oh, I guess a few of you are.
Good.
Good.
Pretty good.
Nice to meet you. Good to see you anyway. So I just wanted to hop on tonight. I'm super excited to see y'all in what, I guess about 4 weeks on the money. And yeah, I'm super excited for LTS. I've had a couple hectic weeks here, grinding it out with Ty, figuring out, you know, where the hell are we falling short on the fight for free speech, we meaning myself, and, you know, what loops do we need to close up, what do we need to be tighter on, what can we get rid of, and I'm really, really excited to not only introduce a lot of you new guys and gals introduce y'all into the fight for free speech, and for those of y'all who have been here for a while, this is going to be a fight for free speech like you've never seen before. So it's going to be completely brand new, and I'm real excited to have y'all on board. This is going to be one hell of a spring. Yeah, I'm just really excited to be working with y'all. I'm going to be sending out a link to schedule calls with y'all for what is everybody done with finals next week? 2 weeks from now?
2 weeks from now.
2
2 weeks from now.
Okay. So here's the thing. I'm going to send out a link. I want you guys to schedule a time to chat with me. I know for some of y'all who aren't recent hires, I was kind of shitty with like the last 2 schedulings, and you know, I apologize. It's 100% on me. And you know, you don't have any reason to think that I will call you when you do set it, and I don't blame you for that. And you know, I just want you all to know that we've been really grinding it out, really bringing this thing up 100 notches from where it used to be. So I'm really excited to share with all of y'all. So book a time for us to speak after finals, whenever's best for you guys. Do that. And yeah, I guess I don't have anything else to share with y'all except that I love y'all, and I'm really excited to see what we can create in the spring. It's going to be amazing. All right, talk to y'all soon.
Hi again. Okay, we can wrap this up and everything, and I need to plug it up again. Cool. So Allie, by the way, you might not know who that man is. He's the director of free speech for Yale. So you'll all be working with him throughout the entire next semester on a plan to make free speech win as well, which I know is a lot of people's top issue, which is really cool. So awesome. That is everything that I have prepared for y'all. So the hangout is formally over, but as usual, I will stay on. Feel free to get off if you need to get off, or I will stay on if anyone has any additional questions, comments, ideas, or just wants to hang out, because sometimes we are just on here for a little while. So I'm going to stop recording now.